This idea is a great way to share ideas, thoughts, and stories with the world, and potentially even make some money through sponsorships and advertising. If you don't know me, my name is Luca, and I make money entirely online. And in this video, we'll go over how to get started your own podcast and how to monetize it through sponsorships and advertising. One of the great things about starting a podcast is that the startup costs are relatively low. You can get started with just a microphone and a recording and editing software on a computer. There are plenty of options to choose from, and you can even find decent microphones for as low as $50 on sites like eBay. If you don't have a computer, you can even record and edit your podcasts through your phone. All iPhones come with iMovie as well as Macs. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on software or commit to something like Adobe. Like right now, I am using my MacBook Pro microphone in order to record these videos. Pretty good quality for just something that I've already had, and then repurposing it and making it into something that generates me money. Now let's talk about how to get started with your own podcasts. Here are the basic steps you'll need to follow. Now these are very generalized and basic steps. That is my disclaimer for this video. It's not going to be as clean cut, but you'll be able to follow the main principles in which I share in this video. The first thing you'll need to do is choose a topic for your podcast. This could be something you're passionate about or something you have an expertise in. You don't want to just be talking a bunch of rubbish in your podcast. For example, I wouldn't go into creating a podcast around brain surgery because I'm not a brain surgeon and I'd just be saying things that don't have any substance. Just make sure it's something that you'll enjoy talking about for multiple episodes. For example, if you're into gaming, you might want to start a podcast about the latest video games and gaming news that comes out. Or if you're interested in personal finance, you could start a podcast about saving money and investing. All these topics, such as gaming and personal finance, always have new news and something new to talk about and give your opinion on. To record and edit your podcast, you'll need some basic equipment. This includes a microphone, a recording and editing software, and a computer or iPhone. There are plenty of options to choose from, so take some time to research and find the best setup for your needs and budget. For example, you might want to invest in a higher quality microphone if you're planning to record interviews with guests. Or if you're in a tight budget, you can start with a basic microphone and upgrade later on as your podcast grows. Before you start recording, it's a good idea to have a rough outline on what you'll be covering in each episode. This will help you stay on track and make sure that your content is organized and cohesive. You might want to create a list of topics that you want to cover, or brainstorm some ideas for the interviews or discussion points. You don't want to be sitting there with your guest and have nothing to ask him. That is just embarrassing, and then the word will get around and no one will come on your podcast. Keep the conversation going. It is your job as a host to do this. And if you're by yourself, well, it doesn't matter. You just don't want to be sitting in your own silence talking about nothing. Once you've got your equipment set up and your episode outline prepared, it's time to start recording. You can do this on your own or with a co-host or guest. Just want to quickly mention that I have launched a money-making method, which you can start making money as soon as you join my Discord community to help everyone get started with making money online. I am signing brands which you can be an affiliate for straight away, which have high commissions. As a way, I can actually help out the legends you all are. I will never charge anything for my Discord. Everything is free. Join now to add another stream of income to your current streams, which takes you 30 minutes a day to get up and running. Use your microphone and recording software to capture high quality audio. Then use your editing software to clean up any mistakes or background noise. You can even add intro and outro music or use sound effects to enhance your episodes. Once you've recorded and edited your episodes, it's time to share them with the world. There are a number of ways you can promote your podcasts, including social media, email, and through other podcasts and websites in your niche. You might want to create a website for your podcast or use a hosting platform such as Buzzsprout or Podbean to publish your episodes. Or you could just go through the traditional route and publish through Spotify or YouTube. These are great ways in order to kick off your podcast journey. Now let's talk about ways on how you can monetize your podcast through sponsorships and advertising. There are a few ways you can do this. One way to do it is through sponsorships, like I've said before. This involves finding companies or brands that are willing to pay you to mention their products or services or their brand in your episodes. Doing this when you're small is very difficult, but you can approach companies directly or use a service like Midroll to connect with potential sponsors. For example, if you have a tech podcast, you might be able to secure a sponsorship from a company like NordVPN, but you got to be pretty big. These guys offer virtual private network services. Or if you have a gaming podcast, you could partner with a company such as Raid Shadow Legends and promote their mobile role-playing game. Or companies like Xbox or those gaming controller knockoff things. There are endless amounts of companies in your niche that'll pay you to mention them once you reach a certain stature and a certain relevance within your niche. Another way to monetize your podcast is through advertising. This involves selling ad space to companies and brands which advertise during your episodes. This is done mainly on YouTube through YouTube AdSense, but you can add a service like AdvertiseCast to help you sell ad space and manage your ad campaigns. Another form of generating revenue is from Google AdSense, like I mentioned, through YouTube. If you're re-uploading your podcast to YouTube, you can collect a large amount of money from adding ads through your long-form content. People will watch or listen to your podcast, and you'll be able to cram more ads into your video as it's longer form. You can promote your own products on your podcast as well. For example, if you're doing a health podcast, you can create a cookbook with healthy recipes and sell that to your listeners. This is the way that I would do it, as you're growing your podcast and the product at the same time. Other than promoting someone else's brand and products, in the long term, you'll be better off. Patreon is also a platform that allows you to receive ongoing financial support from your listeners. You can offer exclusive content or perks to your Patreon supporters in exchange for their support. Those are basic steps that you'll need to follow to start your own podcast and monetize it through sponsorships and advertising. It is not easy starting a podcast, and it takes time and effort, but it can be a rewarding experience that allows you to share your ideas and stories with the world. Being an entrepreneur is a journey, not a straight route. This is going to take time, and if you don't give your business a chance to grow and gain traction, then it won't. The goal should be to grow this over a course of 3 years, not 3 weeks. You can make it work. Don't be lazy. You got this.